cashless welfare card. What are your thoughts on that?
That stuff is punitive and restrictive. It comes down to rudimentary human rights, much maligned, and it will have a negative psychosocial impact. It will take people to a negative psychosocial self. Look, I do believe in some rudimentary. Let me just respond to that a little bit different. I do believe that in terms of public housing rentals, that rent should be deducted to ensure the universal right to housing, and that people shouldn't be at risk of being put on the street, because that's a huge major factor. But in terms of the basic welfare card, no, I'm not a supporter of that. It's very little income at best, and it's best to actually have sound financial management, education, psychoeducative and psychosocial with families to get them to a pathway. But it's about improving their life circumstance. Improving their life circumstance, we won't have to worry about these basic rudimentary rights contravened or whatever, right? But it takes them to a negative psychosocial self. It's actually very controversial and it's problematic. Yes, I understand the arguments for it, but are we going to just forever work at the symptomatic level, or are we going to dig deeper and work at the rudimentary level where there's all causality, we address causality, where we improve life circumstance, where we actually help people better understand themselves and take them to a positive psychosocial self to help them navigate their settings, which include living that far below the poverty line. It's damning. We're talking about crushing poverty, and poverty for a lot of First Nations people, particularly in remote living circumstance, which isn't fundamental to the poverty of other Australians, the 14% that live below the Henderson poverty line.